Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Flying Fists He-Man. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, we've got Mattel 6 and up, 30 points of articulation. And then the top flat, Masterverse, 1980s rock explosion. Then on the front, got a little window there showcasing the figure, some of the figure and some of the accessory. And then some nice artwork on the front. Here is Eternia back there. And then New Eternia, too bad we haven't seen him in a while. Flying Fist He-Man, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, and there's Flying Fist He-Man himself, and then the artwork goes around to this side, and you can see the Tower of Grayskull right there, and then the Sorcerer's wearing, it looks like pink to me, so, but I'm colorblind, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legal use print, made in Vietnam print, contents, one figure accessories, MattelShop.com, a question mark, assortment numbers, and a barcode. Finally, we go to the back, and we've got a nice practical shot of the figure, but the head is different than the one that comes on the figure, so. And then here we have some close-ups of what the figure can do. And then Flying Fist He-Man, heroic leader with arms swinging action. He-Man discovers an ancient weapon fueled by the power of Grayskull, long thought lost, which shows him the way of the Flying Fists. Also available, each sold separately, subject to availability. Colors and decorations may vary. Mattel empowering generations through play. And again, also available across sale. This figure, Flying Fist He-Man, New Eternia Fisto, New Eternia Evelyn. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And thought I misplaced my tweezers there for a second, but I got handy dandy tweezers here to help us take a look at some of the smaller accessories. And we'll start with the extra hands. And here we have some nice gold fists. It's got some knuckle dusters on it, it looks like. Very armored looking segments for the fingers. Molded in gold plastic. In and out hinge. And I have to say, it's pretty cool. I don't think I've seen this idea applied to Flying Fist He-Man before, but I could be wrong. So here we have the other golden fist, same as the other one, just for the opposite side. So it does have some nice molded details. I don't think we've seen this piece before, so that's cool. Next up here is a bracket that goes on his back that will hold the Flying Fist's weapon. And it uses these two posts right there, these T-posts, to peg in on his back, and we'll get to that in a minute. Next up, we have his shield, and on the inside, you know, we've got these straps that we've seen before. Nice gold on the inside, so it's probably molded in a gold plastic, and then nice gold on the outside too. Got some rivets going on. Don't see a whole lot of swirly twirly going on. Okay, there's a little bit right there, and then I dropped it. So, and then we've got some paint apps here on the edge of the thing, and of course it spins around. So that's kind of cool. Next up, we have the Flying Fist's weapon, which You know, it's got a belt here and some pulleys, and I'm sure there's some belts on the inside probably that you can't see, and then maybe exhaust going on right there, and then a way to adjust it, and there's a handle and an arm clip, and I don't see, there's like no trigger on it, so I don't know how you would activate it. And then of course it's got this point for on it, and then of course this is molded in silver plastic, and these bits on the end are molded in gold plastic. They're separate pieces that look to be glued on. Yeah, glued on, and it spins pretty freely there, so that's neat. Now let's take a look at He-Man. So, you know, same head sculpt that we've been getting for a couple of He-Mans now. Notably, Thunder Punch He-Man had the same head. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. It's a very He-Man looking head, and the hair, you know, nice strand detail in there and some wash to help it stand out. The color might be a little bit dark, but I think it's okay. And then as far as the face goes, it looks like they might have used like an inkjet type or face printing technology similar to what Hasbro's using now. The face details are very crisp and clean. Eyebrows, eyes, and the teeth, and even around the lips there a little bit, it looks like some shading on the face maybe. So that's cool. Then we move to his armor, and you notice on, you know, the shoulder armor is the lion head from Eternia, the central tower there of Eternia. Nice big red He-Man H there on his chest. Looks to be molded in this color plastic, and it does have lots of nice molded detail on it there. Some gold paint here and some gold paint here. And you can see lion motif again right there. And then kind of circuit boardy looking here and in the regular belt, at least on the front sides of it. On the back, again, the gold and the gold. It comes all the way around. These are the where you can unstrap the armor and take it off. These do kind of peg in up here on the shoulders. And then we've got his bracers here, which are molded in this gold plastic. Nice molded details in them. Some rivets, some segments, and they're the same on both sides. This, you know, he's got a crotch flag going on, and it's got, I'm not sure what exactly that symbol is supposed to be, but it's for the heroic warriors. In his loincloth, fur loincloth, you know, nice molded details. It's reused from, I guess, every other Masterverse figure there is, except for it has this piece on it now. So there's been some other ones that had this. So it's not, I don't think it's a new piece, just the colors and stuff on it are new. And it looks to be like it's probably a tampo, and it looks, well, you can figure out what the symbol kind of looks like from where it's positioned, and we'll leave it at that. And then, you know, Masterverse legs going on here. And then we get down here to the boots. Nice gold paint up here on the top with some rivets and some battle damage details going on there. Looks to be molded in these the silver plastics. A little bit of swirly twirlies going on in there. And again with the feet molded in that silver plastic again with, you know, you can see a little bit of swirly twirlies going on there. There's some kind of number there in the bottom of his foot, along with some peg holes. Let's talk about his articulation real quick. The head is on a dumbbell, and it doesn't really look up much because of the hair. Looks down that far. He's got some chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. Now the shoulders, the shoulder armor here is a bit problematic. It doesn't get out of the way much. So the arm will actually do a 360-degree rotation if these weren't in the way. But with those in the way, you get forward about that far. And you get backwards about that far. There's a cut here in the upper bicep for a full 360-degree rotation. And he can raise his arm up that far. Not quite 90 degrees, but it looks like the line is biting him. So that's the dangers of having lion armor, I guess. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. 360-degree rotation at the wrist, and this one is on an in and out hinge, and this one is on an up and down hinge. When is Skeletor gonna get an up and down wrist hinge? Dadgummit. Straight cut at the waist, and that gives you a 360-degree rotation. Pull down hinge at the hips, and that gives him almost the full splits. And he can kick forward that far. This crotch flag, does get in the way just a little bit of that, so just be aware of that. He can kick back almost a full foot. His foot, not my foot. The length of his foot. Cut at the upper thigh, 360-degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. Boot cut gives you another 360-degree rotation at the mid shin, and then at the ankle tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for some rocker. Doesn't really like to rock. Alright, on the back of the armor here, you'll see these two T slots, and they match up to these T posts, and you put them in there and then slide it down, and it should go all the way. And it doesn't like clip into place where you can't remove it, so there is that. And then you can put this in there, and that transforms him from Flying Fist He-Man to Helicopter He-Man. I'm just kidding, that's a joke. So he does have that storage there. For the fist, he doesn't have any storage, and for the shield, he just has to hold it. And, you know, not always the easiest. These straps aren't always the easiest to work with, but there, that was not too bad. And let's see if we can get the Flying Fist back on there. And again, I think I mentioned the extra fist, there's no storage for that, so. And there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Flying Fists He-Man, with the Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Battle Armor He-Man, and the Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Thunder Punch He-Man. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Flying Fists He-Man, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and our final Masters of the Universe entry, Masterverse 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe New Eternia, Flying Fists He-Man, I have to say, I think this is a nice, updated version of that particular He-Man. I like the shield. I like the flying fist contraption. I like the fact that it comes with these gold armored fists. I think that's really cool as well. I like the look of the Eternia lions on the shoulder and the lion motif in the belt. And, you know, the head sculpt on this one, it's the same one that we've been seeing a couple of times now. And, you know, just the wash and the deco and stuff on it. It looks really, really good. And I started to pass on this, but then I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Hey, I got Thunder Punch, which I never had the original Flying Fists He-Man. But my son did have the Origins version of it. And, you know, this one, of course, is missing like the chromey look that the original had. But, you know, it's got some of that. The gold is a little bit shiny. And not necessarily, you know, like the armor isn't that back metallized chromey look to it. And that's fine because, you know, over time that stuff wears out. But I think this is a really good version, modern version of the Flying Fists He-Man, and, you know, it's pretty cool. If this is something that you have nostalgic feelings for from when you were a child, or just simply you like the design of it, you know, this, you pick it up. It's still readily available, I believe, as of the time of this recording. Now that may change between now and when this video gets posted, but for the most part, again, I like this, and, you know, if you like it too, then it's going to be a pickup for you. And, you know, don't wait too long, because they might disappear. But then again, you never know; it might end up on clearance. I don't know. I'm not a prognosticator. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.